Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Cameron West and welcome to yet another video about math. I apologize, I haven't made a video in a very long time, but today we're getting a little bit more serious with our graphs and slopes and such. And for this one, I'm going to assume that you've already started your school year in 8th grade, like I'm in, and so you already know the form for graphs is y equals mx plus b. As you can see here, I apologize for my bad handwriting, I'm writing with my finger. So the y equals mx plus b format is basically the format used for all graphs where it's a straight line, otherwise known as linear equations. Y equals mx plus b is the formula for linear equations and also the key to making any graph that looks like this. However, I'm assuming that you already know that because you've already started your school year and that's pretty much taught to everyone at the very beginning. I'm also going to assume that you know what slope is. Basically, when you take this little arrow here, you take your line. The slope is this rate of increase right here. This is the slope. So if you don't already know what that is, then you can check out the videos that I have in the description on what all of those are. Most of them are by, Khan Academy. But my personal favorite is by Flocabulary, which is it's basically a math rapper. Pretty cool guy, but yeah, let's get right into what we're actually talking about today, shall we? Okay, so what we're going to be talking about today is point-slope form. Right there. Point-slope form is basically another version of the y equals mx plus b or slope-intercept form, and is written like this. Y minus y1 equals m, and then x minus x1. If you know anything about slope-intercept form, you'll know that m is what the slope is represented by, and y is, well, y. Now, when you're trying to find the point-slope form of something, someone will usually give you an equation like this. I apologize, actually, it's not an equation. It is it's a coordinate plot point thing. This is the x and the y. The x is the 3 and the y is the 0, of course. And then m equals whatever that is, which is the slope. So in this case, the slope is negative 2/3, and the plot point that they're giving you is 3, 0. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to plug in these into the equation. Okay, so basically, as you can see, the equation is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, like I said earlier. But how do you plug these into that equation, you're probably wondering? Well, first things first, let's plug in the m. So, y minus y1 equals negative 2/3 times x minus x1. Now let's talk about what the y1 and the x1 are. Those are basically all of the plot points that are in here. So, 3, 0. 3 being the x and 0 being the y. In other words, the equation would be y minus 0 equals negative 2/3 times x minus 3. But of course, since y minus 0 is still y, then that can be taken out. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to distribute the 2/3 into the x and the negative 3, which I use by that thingy-mabobber right there. So when you distribute the 2/3 into the x, what you're going to have is negative 2/3 x, because x isn't really represented by anything yet. And then when you distribute the negative 2/3 into the negative 3, you get something that looks like this. Negative 2/3 times negative 3 over 1. You're going to want to multiply these little thingy-mabobbers together first. So let's just move this here negative sign up onto the 2. So, in other words, negative 2 over 3 times negative 3 over 1. So, negative 2 times negative 3 will give you a positive 6 over 3 times 1, which is 3. 6 over 3 is actually equal to... it's actually equal to 2. So, yeah, basically just simplifying, 3 goes into 6 2 times, so yeah, it's 2. Back over here, let's substitute that in. negative 2/3 plus 2. And then we will bring down the y and add that into the equation so that it says y equals negative 2/3 x plus 2. In other words, this is actually your y equals mx plus b format, with m being the negative 2/3 and the b being positive 2. However, sometimes you won't get that simple, straightforward plot point plus m. For example, most times in real life, you won't. Instead, what you'll get is something that looks kind of like this. Two different plot points. Like, oh, I don't know, -1 and another -1 for one plot point. And then another plot point which would be represented by 1, 5, I guess. So I guess we'll use those ones as an example for now. Okay. So once you have this little thingy-bobber right here, oh, I don't know what I just did. Okay. Anyway, once you have this thing, it will probably ask you to turn that into a slope-intercept form, which is the y equals mx plus b. But first, you're going to want to find the m. So, in order to find the m, that's the slope, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And keep in mind that these are not exponents, they are just the different little flavors of y's and x's represented over there. I have no idea why I said flavors, but whatever. Okay, so in this case, y2 is the y of the second coordinate, so that would be 5. And then that would be 5 minus the y1, which is -1, and minus a negative is actually plus a positive. So 5 plus 1 is equal to 6 over x2 minus x1. The x2 is 1, and the x1 is -1, so that would be 2. We could then simplify this and say that 6 over 2 is 3. Ta-da! 6 over 2 is 3. I don't know why. It took me like half an hour to figure that out. More like 30 seconds, but whatever. That took me a really long time to figure that out. Okay, so in other words, then m now equals 3. And you can then take any of these plot points up here and bring them down. So say -1, -1, -1. So now that you have these, the -1, -1, which is your coordinate, and your m, you can then repeat the process that I showed you before to come out with the same equation. So thank you guys very much for watching this video, and if you have any questions to ask me, then go ahead and ask them in the comments, and maybe I will solve them in a future video. As of right now, because of my horrible non-popularity theme bubber, then I will probably solve all of those questions, which is actually a good plus side to that. However, if you're feeling down, then... No, I was trying to make a pun. Well... Anyway, if you're feeling down, then you should probably stop being so negative, because... I'm really bad at making puns. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. For more practice for this, then keep a look right here on this channel, because in about 10 minutes, then I will upload a practice video with some word problems and some on your own that you can do for this. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching, and subscribe for free online tutoring, and yeah, ask your questions in the comments below, and give this video a thumbs up. And I will love you back with my little, with my heart thingy right here. Bye!